So today, basically we are starting with the quick sort. So as you know, what is the sorting? Sorting means arrangement of elements in the ascending or descending order. So we will see now quick sort here. So there are few points which I would like to share here initially at the start of quick sort. We may discuss those points in detail, but first of all, there are few points we can note down. The first thing is quick sort is the fastest general purpose internal sorting algorithm. So it is the fastest internal sorting algorithm. Now what is the internal and external sorting? Okay, so I'll tell you, it is fastest internal sorting algorithm. So internal sorting algorithm means what? Sorting happens within the memory, or you can say within the same array. Okay, we are not referring some other array or something like that way. So basically, when actually I will finish the sorting topic, that time I will show the comparison between the external and internal sorting. Okay, so meanwhile you can just remember the internal sorting is sorting happens within the memory. Okay, within the same array. Second thing, the time complexity on an average of the quick sort is given as, we'll see also time complexity analysis, how to calculate that. So the time complexity of quick sort is generally given as O of n log n. Okay, so it is average case, but yesterday we have seen theta, omega and the O notation, but generally we write it as O of n log n. Okay, generally we consider the worst case complexity over here. Okay, obviously worst case is O of n square. This is average case, but we are not writing here theta since the data structure students may not aware of this theta, omega and O notation. So meanwhile, you can just say it is a time complexity of O of n log n. Okay, now we will see basically here the how the quicksort works. Okay, so basically we will see now generally how quicksort works. So I'll just give a brief idea, how basically it sorts the array. Okay, so first time being is just remember it is the fastest internal sorting algorithm. I'll take some simple example. Say here is a particular input array given here: 10, 3, 9, 4, 2, 7, 1. Okay, and I have to sort this particular array using the quick sort. So this is basically my original array. Now basically what quicksort will do here, first of all we'll select a pivot element. Pivot in the sense a reference element. Okay, I'm not telling algorithm, I'll just tell you process. So here I'll take a 10 as a reference element. Now what we will supposed to do, we will divide the remaining array in such a way that one part of the 10, left part will contain smaller elements than 10, right part will contain the elements greater than 10, and 10 will be at its right position. Okay, so this technique is called as basically the partitioning technique. This is called as the partitioning technique. Okay, so what I'll be doing here now, I will basically 10. Okay, and then what we are doing here, the left part of 10 will contain all the elements smaller than 10. So here what are the elements smaller than 10 are there? 3, 9, 4, 2, 7. All elements are smaller than 10. I'll add some more elements also, or I'll take this value as, let's say here 5. Okay, not 10. I'll take here 5 so that you'll understand it in much better way. Okay, so instead of having 10 here, I'll take here 5. So I'll take 5. So we'll take this as 5 because here all elements greater than 10 will come, smaller than 10 will come, and then we have to go for the basically different condition. Okay, so I am taking here 5. On the right side of 5, the elements greater than 5, which are the elements greater than 5 are here 9 and 7. So here comes 9 and 7 on the right side of 5. You understand the process, afterwards you can easily we can easily write down the algorithm for this. So elements greater than 5, and on the left side the 3 is smaller than 5, 4 is smaller than 5, 2 is smaller than 5, and 1 is smaller than 5. So we did a partition, right? 5 as its right position, left part there is the element smaller than 5, right part elements greater than 5 are there. Again we'll apply the same technique recursively on both the arrays. Okay, so here what we'll do again, we will select here the elements in the left side array. We'll treat it as a separate array and we'll select 3 as a pivot element. Okay, so now here this 3 will be a pivot element. Initially in this case there was 5 as a pivot element and 5 joined here. Now in this array we will select 9 as a pivot element separately. Okay, and then we'll apply partition. So when we apply partition over here for this particular array here, so I'll apply here partition. So 3 will come at its position. On the left side of 3 elements smaller than 3, which are elements smaller than 3 are there? 2, 1, element greater than 3, 4 is there. Okay, 5 will come as it is over here. On the 9 is pivot element in this particular array. So on the left side of 9, element smaller than 9 will come, and the right side of array, element greater than 9 will come. So there is no element in the right side of array. Now if you simply see here, there is, this is already sorted, this is already sorted, this is already sorted. Sorted means they are at right position because they are pivot element. Now 4 is basically single element is sorted always. 7 is a single element, it is always been sorted. Now here the problem is with 2 and 1. So what I'll do, again I will select 2 as a pivot element, then 2 will go at its right position. On the left side of 2, elements smaller than 2 will come. So in the array elements smaller than 2 is only 1 will come here. There is no element greater than 2, so this status will remain as it is. 3, 4 will carry further, 5, 7 and 9. Okay, so what basically we are doing here, the steps are, first step we followed here is basically select the pivot element. Select the pivot element. So by default our first element is the pivot element. Second step that we are following here is that, say the pivot element is P. Okay, then what we are doing, partition the array in such a way that left side element are smaller than P and the right side element are greater than P. Okay, so this is basically the generally things that the pattern we are following in the quicksort. Okay, now we will solve the actual example and then I'll give a time for you to solve the example, and after that we'll go for the C implementation of it. Okay, we'll see an actual example. Giving the title quicksort. Let's say I have a particular array with me here. So array given is let's say here 35, then let's say 10, 15, 20, 34, 14, 6, 11, 45. Okay, and I'll take one more element, let's say 49, and I have to apply quicksort on this. Okay, first of all let us understand the process, okay, and then we'll see how to convert it into C implementation. Don't worry about the code. Now what is the first step? I have to select the pivot element. So here I am selecting 35 as my pivot element. I'm selecting this as my pivot element. Okay, Now I basically need here two counters. Okay, because one counter is for to separate the element smaller than 35, and another counter is for separate the element which are greater than 35. So I am using here I and j as my 2 pointers. Okay, so I will start from the index plus 1. So I will start from 10 and j will start from 49. Now what I supposed to do, if there is an element greater element smaller than 35, then I will proceed further. I'll write down here, I will increment I plus plus if a of I is smaller than pivot, because I will actually going to pass the elements which are smaller than my pivot element. Okay, I will do here j plus plus if my element is, that is if a of j is greater than pivot. Okay, now I'll say here this is my basically array A. Now I pointing to 10, so 10 is greater than 35, no, it is smaller than 35, so I plus plus. Now I will point out to 15. Does my 15 is smaller than 35? Yes, I plus plus. I will point out to 20. Does my 20 is smaller than 35? Yes, I plus plus. I will point out to 34. Does 34 smaller than pivot? Yes, I plus plus. I will point out to 40. Now does 40 smaller than 35? No, my I will stop here. Okay, next thing, now we will go to j. Okay, now the last element is 49. I will do j minus minus. Sorry, it is not j plus plus, it is j minus minus, because we have to decrement. We are in the same array and j is pointing out to last element. So here it is j minus minus. So here just correct this thing, j minus minus. So j is pointing to 49. 49 is greater than 35, right? So j minus minus, j will come at 45. 45 and 35, so 45 is greater than 35, j minus minus, j will come at 11. Okay, now j is pointing to 11. Does 11 is greater than 35? No, so j will also stop here. Now what I supposed to do, if my I and j are not intersecting with each other, that means if my I is to interchange here a of I and a of j. Okay, so I'll interchange them. Again I'll rewrite my array here with 35 as a pivot element, 10, 15, 20, 34. Now 11 and 40 will interchange here, so 11 will come here, 6 will go here, 40 will come at the place of 11, 45 and 49. Okay, so here 35 by default is our pivot. Now we have interchanged 40 and 11, so we have interchanged this 40 and 11, right? So here I is pointing out to 11 and j is now pointing out to 40, the same cell, the index. Okay, now again what we'll do, we'll compare I with 35. Okay, so here I is smaller than, that is a of I is smaller than 35, I plus plus, I will point out to 66. So again this 6, it is smaller than 35, I plus plus, I will point out to 40. But now here 40 is not smaller than 35, so our I will stop. Now again we will come at j, we will see the value of j here. So basically j is pointing out to 40. So this 40, it is greater than 35. So j minus minus. Now here j will point out to 6. J minus minus. Now we'll compare a of j, that is 6, with 35. Here the 6 is smaller than 35, but I want that the jth value should be greater than 35. Okay, so j will also stop. So when I and j will stop after certain condition, what we'll do, we'll check if I is smaller than j. No, because I is actually pointing to 40 and j is pointing to 6. That means I is going beyond j. So if I and j are actually crossed each other, what we'll do, we will replace. If they are not there, then what we'll do here, else here we will interchange. What we will interchange here, a of j with pivot element. Okay, so here pivot is 35, a of j 6 over here. So we will interchange these two numbers, and then here we'll be getting one array as, writing here, we'll be getting one array as here 6, because you have interchange 6 and 35, 10, 15, 20, 34, 11. This is one array we are getting here. Now instead of 6, there will be element which will come here, as that element will be 35. And in the next part there will be elements which are 40, 45, 49. These are again two separate array that we are getting, and we are getting 35 at its right place. Okay, so here basically this is which position we have interchanged 35 and 6 over here, right? So 35 is at right position, and this is my jth position. Again I will apply here partition algorithm. I will apply here partition algorithm on whom jth index is correct by 35. I will apply here on this particular subarray right of the jth subarray. So I will apply partition algorithm for j plus 1 to n minus 1, because last index is n minus 1, separately on this array. And here again the same process, that is called as partition process, I will apply on this array also. So I will apply here partition process on 6, 10, 15, 20, 34 and 11. So here this will go from 0 to, since this is j, this will be j minus 1. So that will go for 0 to j minus 1. And then again recursively we will be solving this. Okay, so now look at here, it's very important. We are sorting here for a 0 j minus 1, so that this particular j minus 1, and we are applying here recursively. So here I am taking only the left part. Now 10 is greater than 6, so I will stop here itself. 11 is greater than 6, j minus minus, j will now point out to 34. Now 34 is greater than 6, so we'll do j minus minus, j will point out to 20. 20 is greater than 6, j minus minus, j will point out to 15. Then 15 is greater than 6, j minus minus, j will point out to 10. Then 10 is greater than 6, j minus minus, j will point out to 6. Okay, now 6 is not greater than 6, so this will stop here. Then what we supposed to do here is that we have to check when I and j stops, you have to check the value of I and j. But here I is not smaller than j. right? I is greater than j, that means we have completely traversed the array. Now what we supposed to do, we supposed to replace pivot with the a of j, but here pivot and a of j is same, that is 6 as it is. So 6 will come as it is over here. The remaining unsorted array is only on the right half, and that array is here 10, 15, 20, 34, 11. This is our j. Okay, then this will be, it will go from j plus 1 to n minus 1, so that we'll see in the logic. Now here again we'll select 10 as pivot element. Then here again we'll apply this recursively. I is pointing out to 15, j is pointing out to 11, and then that will go. So again actually 10 will come as it is, because you know the 10 itself is the smallest element in this array, and it will come here as it is. Okay, similar way here on this side also 35 will be coming, 40, 45 and 49. Now here the pivot is 40, so I is pointing out to 45, j is pointing out to 49, the pivot is 40. So 45 is not smaller than 40, so I will stop here as it is. 49 is smaller than 40, j minus minus, j will come at 45. 45 is greater than 40, j minus minus, j will come at 40. So 40 is not smaller than 40, this will stop here, and here I and j are intersecting each other. The 40 will come here as it is, and the next remaining array will get here as 45 and 49. Again, next time we'll select 45 as our pivot element. I and j are pointing out to same 49. So 45 is not smaller than 49, I will remain at the same position. 49 is greater than 45, j minus minus, j will come at pivot. 45 is not basically here, the greater than 45, this will stop. I and j are intersecting each other, so we will supposed to interchange the pivot with a of j. But here since the 45 and pivot are same, the 45 will come here as it is, and here 49 is there, but first and last element is same one. This is sorted, this is also sorted, this 35 will come here, and then this array actually will be getting here 6, 10, and once we sort this we'll get here 11, 20 and 34, like this. Okay, so here completely we are getting this complete sorted array. 6, 10, 11, 20, 34, 35, 40, 45 and 49. Okay, we'll solve one more example so that you know we'll understand it in much clear way. Okay, you can note down this. So this is input array, and you're supposed to apply quicksort on this. Apply quicksort algorithm on this. See, output is very clear. We have actually used the sorted array, but the thing is that I should know the process how I can apply the quicksort on the given basically array. Okay, so you can take 27 as the first pivot element, then 76 it will get pointed by I, 79 it will get pointed by J. Okay, and start solving. So here you can see quicksort, we are passing array A first and last index, then we are actually going for the partition process, this whole process, swapping I and j and all those things, and this is going to give me the jth index. Okay, so here then I will take int j. Okay, now see, if there is only one element remaining in a particular array, that means first and last is only same element, that means that element is already sorted. So here my first should always be the, what you can say, smaller than the last. They should never be equal. So if my first is smaller than last, then only I will able to do the partition, right? So now I'll go for the partition logic. In partition logic, what I am doing here, we'll see the process now. So I'll write simultaneously a partition function. So in partition function, what we are doing here, what we are getting in partition function, we are getting one integer array A, we are getting the first element, and we are getting the last element, right? Now what is the first thing that I am doing in this given array? First of all, I am declaring the pivot. Next thing, I am getting the pointer I and pointer j pointing to the last element. So for this purpose, I need here int pivot element, I need I need j, and there is some swapping process we see. So I need, let's say, temporary variable to swap them. Okay. Now what we are doing here is basically, first of all, we are declaring here pivot element. So what is my pivot element here? Pivot is pointing out to A of first. This is our pivot element pointing out to my first element, right? Then I will start from my first element because I am doing I plus plus, and j is pointing out to my last element, right? So actually we are using do while loop in this process, so I'll say j is pointing out to last plus 1. We know why do while. I'll just explain that also. Okay, or you can have for loop in that case. Okay, now what we are doing, we are using here do while process. We are using the do while. Now the first thing that we are doing here is what? We are incrementing I if my A of pivot, or you can say pivot element, is greater than I. Okay, so here we'll do I plus plus. तब तक करना है while my A of I is smaller than pivot and my I is less than or equal to last I. Like say here A of I plus plus, I was pointing out to first I plus plus, I'll go to 76. This is my A of I. Now this A of I here, it is basically 76, which is greater than the pivot. So I will stop at this value. Now what about the j? So what we are supposed to do here? We have to do j minus minus. Or till the time till the time I have to decrement j jab tak while my pivot is smaller than j. That is, my pivot is smaller than A of j. Correct? Now see here, j minus minus, j was pointing out to the last plus 1. Now j minus minus, j will point out to 79. Compare 79 with 27. So 79 is greater than 27. So pivot is smaller than A of j. J minus 1, j will come at 100. Okay, now again we compare. Pivot is 27, A of j is 100. So 100 is greater than 27. Again do j minus minus. So j will point out to 45. Then again we will compare 45 with 27. J is still greater than pivot element. J minus minus, j will come at 20. Now here pivot is 27 and A of j is 20. Does my A of j is greater than pivot? No. So this while loop will also break. Now then we have seen the next condition. What we are supposed to do here, when I and j stop and they are not intersecting each other, what we are supposed to do here is, what we are doing here, if I and j are not intersecting each other, that means if I is smaller than j, then what we are doing here, interchange A of I with A of j. So what we'll do here, temp equal to A of I Don't write the program, I'm just telling you the process. At the end we are going to see the whole implementation in detail. And then we are saying here a of j, a of I is equal to a of j, and then we are saying here a of j is equal to 10, something like this. So we are interchanging here a of I and a of j, right? ये कब तक चलेगा? This whole thing will continue till while our I is less than j, जब तक मेरा I j से कम है. So now what we'll do here, we interchange the 45, sorry not 45, 20 with, we'll interchange 20 with 76. So here comes now 20, this will become now 20, and this will become now 70. This is j, this is I, so I is now 20. Again this will come into this do while loop, do I plus plus. Now I is smaller, I plus plus, I will point out to 17. 17 is smaller than 27, yes, I is not reaching to last element. Do I plus plus, I will come at 9. This 9 is smaller than 27, I plus plus, I will come at 57. So a of I is now 57 and pivot value is 27. So this will break. This I is now at 57. Now j is at 70, j minus minus, j will come at 57. So a of j is greater than pivot j minus minus, j will come at 9. Now a of j is not greater than pivot, this loop while loop will also break. Now I is pointing out to 9, j is pointing out to 9, I is pointing out to 57. Does my I is less than j? No, I is going beyond j, so this while loop will also break. And then at the end what we are doing here, once this while loop is break, here we are basically doing the interchange of the pivot value, the first element with a of j. So here what we are doing at the end, after while loop, once I and j are legally intersect each other, here we are doing a of first. At the place of a of first, we are taking the element a of j. So that means we will take here 9 at the place of 27, and we are taking 27 at the place of 9. So 27 is pivot element, so a of j place I am taking here pivot element. And after that what we are doing, we are returning that j position to our quick sort function which I have just written here. We are returning that j position, right? So now here this is j. Again we are applying the same technique, partitioning technique, over here on the right part also, on the left part also. Okay, so here then again we are calling for two functions separately, quick sort of a comma first comma j minus 1 and quick sort of a comma j plus 1 comma last, and there will be j is equal to partition. Okay, so this thing we will see in a much detailed way in form of the program, but first of all you need to solve this example completely.